What up, everybody, and welcome to your championship edition of the Dynasty Fantasy Football Recap. I'm messing up the name already. I'm your host, Matt Salgado, aka Mateo83. You can find me on Twitter with that username. You guys are used to that by now because we're all the same. We're all the same viewers. Nobody new this year, right? Um, I'm just doing this is I'm gonna recap the championship game, give you some stats and whatnot, and just an overall recap. That's the name of the game. That's the name of the show. So to top it all off, our championship game was between Johnny Draft Day Losers taking on Luis's Turn Down for What. Wasn't much of a game going into last night. Luis had a slim lead, but that quickly evaporated, and so was his championship dreams. Congratulations, Johnny, on your 104-78 win in your first Dynasty Fantasy Football Championship. You had no help from Andrew Luck, who was good all year long. Decided to give you just 2.36 points. You did get a lot of help from Odell Beckham with 26 points. Marshawn Lynch with 23. Fred Jackson with 10. And you had the Seattle defense contribute with 13 points overall. Just helped you out very well. Luis, you had a tough going. You didn't start Phillip Rivers. Can't kick yourself too hard there. Nobody saw Phillip Rivers having that kind of a game, especially against San Francisco. And it didn't look too good for him going into the second half of that game either. I mean, it was an absolute dismal game for Phillip Rivers up until the third quarter when all hell broke loose. You didn't start Sammy Watkins, which I'm not too sure why you didn't do that, because he would have got you 13 points as opposed to starting someone like Kelvin Benjamin, who only got you 4. Personally, I probably wouldn't have started Vincent Jackson. I've had Vincent Jackson on a number of teams for the past couple of years in fantasy football, and he just never performed for me. So I think the Vincent Jackson bandwagon is long gone. So you just got to deal with it. DeMarco Murray only got 11 points, and that happened very early in the game. Afterwards, it just didn't feel like a DeMarco Murray game. Once he hit those 11, they didn't play him. Le'Veon Bell, which is going to be next year's number 1 draft pick, I predict that right now, only got you 13 points, so not a great way to end the season with him. The Kansas City defense only got you 2 points. So this was just the worst week for all your players to underperform. You did get 17 points from Matt Ryan and Matt Forte with 15, who actually beat his projections, but it just wasn't enough, Luis. I'm sorry, but second place isn't that bad. You're the first loser, as opposed to me. I'm the 10th loser, or 9th, however you want to say it. But congratulations again to Johnny. You received the number 1 pick in the draft next year, or any draft position pick that you want. You don't have to go first. You can pick second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, or 10th. Totally up to you. And then the rest of the draft will be up and totally random. This year I will not, or next year I will not pick the draft. I will have somebody pick the draft for me. It won't be me. It won't be Priscilla. But we're gonna get it so it's not too fishy. I mean, come on, guys. If you think I rigged the draft, then I definitely got cursed for it, because I ended up in 10th place. It didn't help me whatsoever. My first pick this year was LaShawn McCoy. I probably would have picked Jamal Charles had I known better. I should have picked Jamal Charles. He would have started off a little bit better for me. I think as far where I went wrong, I'm just going to speak for myself as my fantasy, what was that? It was like a motorcycle just driving by. Sorry about that. As far as my fantasy football experience goes, this year in this league particular, I was very quick to pull the trigger and drop players when they weren't performing. I should have just stuck with a lot of them. I regret dropping Justin Forsett. I picked him up, dropped him. I think Gabe ended up with them for the rest of the year. I traded away Drew Brees. I still feel like that was a good decision, because Jay Cutler was a little bit more of a, believe it or not, Jay Cutler for me was more of a consistent performer. But as far as real life football, that doesn't translate over. But wherever Jay Cutler ends up next year, I think he's going to be Jay Cutler. It's just like Tony Romo. I mean, you can't depend on Tony Romo all that much in actual football games. I know I'm going to upset a lot of Cowboys fans saying that, but he is a great fantasy football player. So as much as I don't like Cowboys in general, their players are pretty decent in fantasy football. DeMarco Murray, great stats. Dez Bryant, great stats. Tony Romo, great stats. And Dan Bailey, solid stats. So, I mean, you got him. If you have him, you play him. And that's what Luis did, and you can't blame him for that. So Johnny finishes first. Luis finishes second. And Alex actually beats Freddie this week. That game's technically still going on, but Alex manages to grab that third place trophy. those valuable virtual trophies that we get in the Yahoo League. So congratulations on that, Alex. I'm actually tied with you right now in the Pick'ems League, so we'll see what happens with that. I did put a link out on the Facebook page for a NFL.com League playoff challenge. Anybody and everybody is welcome to play that. You don't have to be a member of the Dynasty Fantasy Football League to do that. I'll put another link, and the password is Gabe Sucks. So you take it for what it is. I played in 5 leagues this year. I don't know how many leagues you guys played in, but in 3 of those 5 leagues, I was in the playoffs. I finished 3rd in 2 of them, and second in my NFL.com league. So I didn't win any gold this year. I won 1 championship last year, and so I won one trophy, 1 championship, and finished 2nd. And I think that's as good as I did last year. But I have some ideas for the league next year. I think I mentioned them in a video that I didn't like a while ago, and I deleted it. But as far as doing like a keeper league, I think that'd be a lot of fun to do. I played in a league this year that was a redraft league where we drafted at the beginning of the year, and then we did a redraft after week 8 to start over new, which was a lot of fun. And it's one of the leagues that I finished 3rd place in, and it was a lot of fun. So if you guys are open to ideas, I still want to keep this league completely the way it is. I am changing the playoff scheme next year, where the top 6 teams get in, and it's not 8 teams anymore. So that means the top 2 seeds get a bye week, the first round of the playoffs. So we'll take it from there, and I'll see what you guys think. If 1 league's enough for you guys, then 1 league is enough, and we'll keep it like that. But until next time, guys, I'm going to go ahead and say it. But set those teams, pick those picks, and I'll see you next year right here on the recap.